wasn't expecting this and wasn't, but let's get into it. What I keep hearing is, and I put this on my last, the last little reading that I just did, on the screen, because it was in my head, and I'm like, oh wait, this is spinning my, anyway. Cause it's all in my head, I think about it over and over again. Over and over again is old school, rap, R&B, country crossover, Nelly and Tim McGraw. We don't really like either one of those, but yeah, in my head, that's what I'm hearing. So let's see what's going on with that. Let's see what's going on with that. What's going on in this energy, please, Spirit? Replay, picturing you with them. And I can't shake it, and I can't take it now. Body, judgment, intuition, family, karma. Cloudy judgment. I'm hearing a couple things for that. I want to get one more. Obsession. Ain't that the truth? I want to get one more. Elusive. So it's not what I expect. So something's troubling somebody clearly, right? Clearly. And that just kind of confirms whatever it is. This is very, very obsessive energy. You could have had a family with this person. This could be family. Family could be tied to this in some way, but something is clouding your judgment, clouding your intuition, making you view things in a distorted way. And it's like you're going over it again and again, right? The karma of it, the deception of it, the trickery of it, the elusive nature of this, how this kind of escaped you, how you overlooked this, and it's putting you in this very obsessive energy. And I'm playing the song in my head. And it's kind of crazy. Cloudy judgment. I want one more for that. It could be that what they're seeing is distorting their perception, further distorting their perception, right? Creating illusions. That's fine. Get one with that. Running. So it can either be that they now have cloudy judgment after spying on you. Actually, yeah, because I was about to say it the reverse way, but it's still the same thing. Running. I feel like what I'm getting with this is this person, after peeping in on you, they're seeing the regret of them running away in whatever capacity it was. And it's only after looking in on you, it could be that like this person ran for whatever reason, right? We'll get into that reason later. But it's like whatever reason they ran, they thought that they were spot on. They thought that they were in the right, but it couldn't help like peeking in on you, seeing what's going on in your life, and it's really distorting their perception of what it was that was happening and of why they ran out and the reasons that they ran out. Intuition. We got 2 for that. Fantasy and rejection. Trying to like no longer. So if their judgment's clouded, right? Like trying to see like where's the through line between like rejecting this and like thinking this is a fantasy. Rejecting this because they feel like it's a fantasy, right? Like their intuition like lying to them. Their intuition telling them to reject this because this is a fantasy. This is not real. This is not, you know what I mean? Like, because I mean that's why they would have like a clouded judgment on something. Because they're viewing it wrong in one way or another. They're viewing the situation wrong. Viewing you wrong until they reject it. Again, this could have something to do with like values, like alignment, you know, maybe, you know, so something about this, like you guys, like something about like, it's been coming out with the readings here for the, you know, counterparts in the energy. It's like something about like family ties being a huge influence. And it could be that, you know, family was saying like, hey, I don't know if they're a right fit for you. Like, so like some kind of like, you know, little bee in their ear. This seems like a fantasy. Like you two don't actually match. That seems like a big thing. You two don't actually match. Family. And it could be why you know, why they ran. This specifically says pregnancy though as well. Confusion. Yeah, I mean, duh, they're confused. Duh, family has caused confusion. Look at that apology at the bottom of the deck here. Duh, family has caused confusion. Family has clouded their freaking judgment. Wrecked their freaking life. That's so wanted to come out. Karma. Whatever it is, they're paying for it, right? They're dealing with it. And that's like, well, that's what's got them spying on you. Something that's kind of made them like rethink. I have to go back. Karma. That's too many that dropped, but one did actually flip out. Soulmates under karma, cause and effect, consequences. Let's get one more for that. Listing. They could have just chalked this up to just being sexual energy. The karma that they're getting for cheating their soulmate is if it was just sex. Like the person that they're meant to be with. Like very just like, again, cloudy judgment, distorted. It's like, you know, just, right, this is a fantasy. This is like, we don't actually fit. This is just sexual tension, heavy sexual tension. Let's get one more for that one. These don't want to come out today. Confessions and bluff. Bluff. Could also be that you kind of caught them out on this, right? Like, you treat me like this is just sex. And kind of like put up some boundaries of like, hey, this, you know, I want more, I need more, right? But they didn't see that, and they had so many people in their ear telling them, and they thought their intuition was right? So they, you know, they're putting up walls, they're putting up masks, they're pretending, they're calling your bluff, trying to call your bluff on your boundaries. And that's what they're kind of dealing with, like the cause and effect of that, the consequences of that, of only treating you like you're sex when you're way more, and having to confess about that. And confessions actually fall right on family and confusion. So really having to confess about the influence that family played here, how they listen to everybody else over you. Elusive. Time. Divine Feminine at the bottom of the deck here. So it's taking time. It's taking time for this person to come around to how they were being dishonest, how their family was very like deceptive, deceitful, how this was just like very trickster energy. This is kind of ick. This is kind of ick. One more time. We're gonna take whatever it is that fell out. Okay, but as I said, we're gonna take whatever it is that fell out. Beginnings over time. It's taking time for this to come out. It's taking time for this to come back around as well. Even the potential of it, and it really is resting in receiving. Let's get one more. Hopeless. So you, Divine Feminine, could be feeling very, very hopeless at this time regarding this situation. Very exhausted with this, because that was exhaustion that was at the bottom of the deck there. So let's get your energy. Energy of the feminine collective at this time. Please and thank you guys for it. Death and Temperance. Two major arcana coming out right at the start. Let's get one more. Queen of Cups. So they're really working on you, really working on your deep emotional well, really working on your subconscious here and how it's affecting your state of mind. It's like understanding that something has to change. Something about this like cannot continue with the way that you feel things and like view things subconsciously. I mean, how it affects your quality of mind, your sanity, your state of being, right? Your emotions could really, really roll over your health. Whether you realize it or not, it could be a huge determining factor. And it's like this is what needs to die. Like the unhealthy aspects of it. That's why you're really being asked to take a look at your subconscious. But also very psychic, very intuitive, right? She's very in touch with her emotions, very in touch with her depths, very kind, caring, compassionate. loving, but it's very important to give that love to yourself as well. And so it's like, this is the time for you to be focusing on that as well. Seven of Swords. So at first that I didn't show it, but the Nine of Cups is at the bottom of the deck, now the Ten of Cups. That's crazy. But let's get one more on the Seven of Swords before we even move forward. Seven of Swords, Three of Cups, the Chariot. I feel like this is an energy of like not knowing like what to trust, not knowing how to move forward, being pulled in two opposing directions, like heart and head, right? Head's telling you to like go at it alone. Head is telling you that you've been deceived, that there's this like trickery, right? There's like, it's like a forewarning. There's something that you don't know, right? There's some deception that's taken place here, whether it's you mentally, but like we saw that come out in the spread, right? So clearly something happened within the situation, right, that you're picking up on. But it's also like Three of Cups here, wanting. I see Three of Cups as a union, like for union, but it doesn't have to be a reunion in the aspect of romantic entanglements, right? And more just like gathering, like a gathering. But I also see it as a card of like support, emotional support. Let's get one more for each. This is three, but the way that they came out, we're gonna take it. The Wheel of Fortune, the Five of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Didn't I say King of Cups? Didn't I say opposing forces? This is like a, and over elusive was time, and then beginnings. A time of so within the Wild Unknown Archetypes deck, I've been studying the Desert card a lot recently, like really working with the energy of the desert. The desert is, it strips everything bare, right? It strips you bare of everything, and it forces you to have nothing around you except for you, right? Because then you are forced to look at you. In the desert, when you were, it's like the Badlands, the drought, when you were without, you were forced to look within and work with what's there, what's inherently there, the magic's there. So you have no distractions, so you're able to see that magic. And then you were like really, it's a time of austerity, so where you're forced to work with what you have, right? It's very like grit grind sort of energy. That's what I'm getting here with the wheel, the Five of Pentacles, and the Hermit. Like that, it's been time for you to do that. And so really kind of I feel like actually what has more so been driving you here with the Seven of Swords, the Three of Cups, and the Chariot is like not trusting other people, not trusting social groups, friend groups, just like other people, period. Like letting that be the thing that like drives you, like kind of this isolation, letting a need for isolation drive you. Because it was time for that. It was time for you to really go. It was time for you to really go within. Because there was some enlightenment, some spiritual healing that needed to be done through that, right? Some coming to terms with, because, right, temperance was the first word that came out. We had death, we had temperance, and then we had the Queen of Cups. So there was some like reckoning that needed to happen within your mental state, within how you viewed yourself in relation to other people, and something about how your previous notions and like perceptions were distorting how you move through the world, and that needed to be remedied, rectified. And it also somehow ties into this King of Cups energy. This emotional counterpart and how they were moving, right? Like an over-reliance on other people. I just saw 2222, so 22222. Yeah. Let's get some more. Six of Cups. Getting back to like the simple things, like the simple joys, getting in touch with your inner child, right? That untapped potential, that untapped magic. I'm also saying the snake card within the wild animal archetypes deck that talks about Shakti energy, right? Raw Kundalini energy, the untapped potential of it. What would you do with it if you saw it? So like, how would you move through life? What would you do in life? Who would you be with? Who would you be around? What would your dreams and visions and goals look like? And what would you going after them look like if you tapped into the raw magic that is you, the latent, like, inherent magic within you? That's kind of what you've needed to go inside and find. And there couldn't be any other distraction. Like you needed to feel like divine, and everything and everyone around you like left you out in the cold. And also like, you know, kind of like a left you out in the cold, but also kind of a decision to do it, right? Again, you're in the desert, you're in the Badlands. And a big part of desert energy is understanding that there is growth in subtraction, in constriction. There's growth, there's magic there. Again, this latent potential there. You got some major cards over you at this time. Death and the Wheel. This is divine intervention. Dante's Inferno, Divine Comedy, could be significant for you, could be relevant. I don't know why that's coming to mind, but it is. Let's get a couple more. Hello. You know what? I just saw the Emperor. I just saw the Two of Cups. But we got the Moon here. Yeah, it's like, what are you afraid of? Like, what are you, like, what? And we started out with cloudy judgments, right? I mean, so that on both ends, right? So what were you not seeing clearly in relation to you and how you connect with other people? How are you being driven by fear? Like, was it like a fear of being alone, or is it a hyper independence? Like, I have to go at it alone. You know, like, something about like what was deep within your psyche, deep within your subconscious, tying back to childhood wounds, right? That inner child. something about that is being revealed to you or has just been revealed to you. One more. But there's the sort of truth over this. There's clarity over this. A new, high level of consciousness, a new way of thinking, a new way of existing, of being, an aha moment, right? Light bulb over whatever it is that you've been struggling with. That's hopefully going to propel you forward. Hold on. Okay. How's the divine here at play for the collective? And what is being illuminated within their subconscious? Yeah, the divine is at play here. For you, we got the gem and the thread. Getting you to see your inner light. Your own inner light. Like the thing that makes you glow, that makes you shimmer, right? The literally this specific card says that your diamond, your shimmer is like a fingerprint. There's only one of one. And my stomach just dropped at that. And let's read the thread for you. Hello. Oh. Ooh. The path of vain, the circuit. Life is a tangle. So much happiness simultaneously in circuit. I can't say that word. Circuitously, I'm pretty sure. Correct me. Leaving us grappling for meaning and direction in a network of distractions. When we connect to the energy of the thread, however, we strike the deepest vein in the body. Our whole being responds to its tug, meaning it's pumped through our bloodstream. Meaning is pumped through our bloodstream. Our mind and spirits are lifted. We remember who we are and what we came into this world to do. Though this happens on the most profound level, it could be the simplest incident that activates the thread. A song, an image, a conversation heard in passing. No matter how confusing and multi-layered our modern lives become, if we're connected to the thread, we are free. Being tethered to it is the only anchor our heart requires. The circuit of meaning within chaos. Yeah. Recall a moment in your life when you felt fully alive. The thread is waiting for you to admit the details of that memory. Those things that make your eyes shimmer, sparkle, glimmer, right? Your inner light. You may think you have to find the thread and pull it. Imagine, though, that it is already tied around you, waiting for you to follow it home. That's why you're being in the desert. So you're in the desert. Okay, and then I asked, what is coming? You know what to ask about your psyche. Rewind 2 seconds. Yeah. You got, did I show you? You got gnosis. So we'll do gnosis first. Gnosis is the act of knowing. Really the kind of the study of knowing what it is to know and to not know. Knowledge. Innermost knowing, mystic truths. That's what's like being uncovered within you, your innermost knowing. True knowledge is not found in facts and figures and scholarly books on library shelves. Rather, gnosis points to the deep and timeless archetypal wisdom that rises from the felt experience of having touched the unknown with every one of the senses. Those who are drawn to gnosis find themselves in esoteric studies, likely involving mysticism, alchemy, healing, or perhaps science. Knowing is their calling, not knowing is their job description. No matter how far the alchemists take their studies, they come to the ultimate conclusion that facts slip toward mystery, and soon the mystery results in facts. This card signifies a knowing that is life-changing. Once you experience it, you are forever changed and you become a guardian of gnosis. The eternal mystery is calling you. Study your passion in the deepest way available to you. Contemplating the mystery, unanswerable questions. And we got the Hunter. Sometimes, like, while I search, I could just look at the number. I also feel like you're kind of like searching for meaning, right? And like, what was the point in all of this? The point has been to find yourself. The point has been for you to see yourself truly, because that is what's going to lead you towards your passion. So it's like, again, that's why divine is over this, because that's why I say Dante's Inferno. You need to go to your depths, your pits, right? The deepest parts of your psyche, the underworld, where your fears and illusions lay in all of that, right? The subconscious, the unconscious. And that's also like a lot of what the desert talks about, to really understand what it is that you're here for. Excuse me. And it is only before you, and you need to be able to see yourself clearly before you can even understand what it is that you're here for. It's like even go after it, because you wouldn't know that if you wouldn't know who you are, your core. You know what I mean? Me as a person, like, I actually like really resonate with the card of gnosis, of unanswerable questions, of sitting in the unknown, being comfortable with the unknown, traversing the unknown, and how a lot of people who deal with gnosis are very much connected to and passionate about esoteric studies, mysticism. You know what I mean? Like, do you get that? Is that tracking? Is that clicking? Let me know. The hunter, the seeker, the pursuer, the predator. The hunter hunts. They are on a precise mission with an aim. To return home empty-handed would be to fail, which is not an option in the hunter's eye. This archetype will journey far and wide, seeking the prize that calls to its heart or stomach. Tales of bravery and feats of strength often result, creating a life full of adventure. The hunter is skillful, quick, decisive, and results-oriented. Like the great hunting goddess Artemis, who carries her quiver upon her back, the hunter typically has a weapon of choice. When this card appears, it is critical that you ask 3 questions. What am I hunting? Why am I hunting it? Is the weapon I hold so tightly in my grip truly needed for this task at hand? When you activate the hunter archetype, you are aligning your energy with the great creatures of the world, the lion, the wolf, the tiger, the shark, and do so with care. So we're gonna see what you're aligning your energy with should you tap into this hunter energy. We're gonna get how you're being asked to tap into this hunter energy, and then what you're aligning your energy with should you do so. And they usually kind of go hand in hand, but, and then we'll wrap this up because I did not mean for this to be that long. And I'll get into the next person later. I don't have it in me to do a 2-hour reading right now. I just really butchered that. Horse and crow falling out twice, so we'll see what we get. Go near the bottom of the deck here. How is the collective being guided to tap into their hunter archetype? The fox, the trickster, the trickster. And what What animal spirit are they aligning with? Should they tap into that? Fire ant. Hold on, one more for that. Octopus. And last one. Okay, good. Good. So this is stages. So we'll get into it. We'll get into it. Okay. How you're being asked to like tap into your hunter archetype. The fox is an enchanting creature with plenty of mystique to go around. Fox personalities are skillful in business and make great teachers. They are quick to learn and adapt well to new situations. Foxes are ideal life partners as they commit to relationships for the long term, and their natural charisma keeps things exciting. Fox energy helps us stay true to those most dear to us. When this card appears, reconnect to those you love. Foxes don't do well when they slip away. Smart, strong partner or mate, wise teacher. Foxes are very trickster energy, yes, but it is very like very cunning, very good energy. It's not always bad. Like trickster isn't necessarily bad, right? You can be a trickster, jokester, just someone who is playful, who quiets, who is moves skillfully and quietly through the night, and that could be something that's sort of needed for you traversing the dark. Needing to have your wits about you, and that's kind of what I more so mean with this interpretation of fox, like having your wits about you, and just being a little cunning, being a little sly, but still having the best intentions. And so that's how you need to tap into that. And I would say, what are you hunting? Some meaning that's going to connect you to something, right? But it has to do with you as a partner. Nothing about this came out as like about like teaching or anything like that. Or the only thing about seeking knowledge was gnosis, right? Which doesn't just speak to seeking knowledge, it's inner truth, right? And we saw the King of Cups, we had the Queen of Cups out, Six of Cups, we saw the Ten of Cups, we had the Nine of Cups, we saw a flash of the Emperor. So this is somewhat connected to relationships, to you, and it's not necessarily the person. It's what you learn and how you grow, what you learn through yourself about like through interpersonal relationships, and how what it is that you've learned thus far within your interpersonal relationships connects you to the inner light, your own inner light, right? Like, what about that has been making you see what about what spirit has been doing in your life has been trying to how they've been trying to get you to see your light through other relationships. Something that you think about, and it could also be like what that could also be the thing that you bring to relationships, right? Like that it factor for you. The energy that you're aligning with once you do tap into this hunter energy, fire ant. I don't really like fire ant, but we're gonna trust. We're gonna trust. Aggression, rigid thinking, following orders. Fire ant energy flares up without us noticing. It's the force that attracts us to people and situations that feed our imbalances rather than those that counter them. Gossiping and blaming are a few indicators that misaligned fire ant energy is at play. You may also find yourself stewing on a person or situation, only making things worse. How can you break free from the drama and cool down? Fire ants are surprisingly sensitive. Don't pretend the heat isn't getting to you. So when you align with what it is that you want, why it is that you like, what am I hunting? Why am I hunting this thing? It is for you to gain a sense of, like, yes, they can be aggressive, but they're also thoughtful and disciplined, right? Very much Mars energy is kind of what I'm getting here. Aries can be significant. Aries, Sagittarius. And I was thinking Sagittarius because Artemis, goddess of the moon, right? The hunt. And then, like, I was like, with Hunter coming up. What was that saying? Gosh. Fire energy is good here because it's like, what am I hunting? Right? Like that's what you align with. Like you align with you align with that you're aligning with understanding of where your imbalances are, of why you're attracted to certain things, right? Like how your energy has been misaligned, like how you've been hunting the wrong things essentially. And you align with like that discipline and that understanding. And it gives you this rigid thinking that really more so comes through as like clarity of mind, right? Like set. You're no longer wavering, you're no longer unsure, you're aware, you're conscious. Octopus. When I say where your imbalances, understand where your imbalances are. Octopus, reaching, yearning, lacking boundaries and direction. The octopus signifies a wonderfully perceptive mind paired with a lack of healthy boundaries. Unfortunately, this results in well-intended but messy relationships. The octopus entwines itself into other people's business and shares their own without restraint. They believe that's what it means to be close. If you notice after spending time with someone that you feel drained or uneasy, the essence of the octopus is at play. Begin to establish healthy boundaries. Be patient and firm. It may be a very old habit to change. What is it you're going after? What are you seeking from other people that is found within self, right? Your own inner light, your path. How does this relate to your own path? How is it getting in the way of you seeing your own self, right? How is it draining you of your life force energy, taking you away from your path? How is it fueling you with like aggression and rigid thinking because you're so influenced with people? And yes, I just said that rigid thinking can be a good thing because it provides you with clarity of mind. Yes, fire and energy is good and bad, like all things. There's good and there's bad, a light side and a dark side. And then lastly, we have the peacock. Did I show you guys these? I think I did, but just in case. I mean, why would I bullshit this? But like, yeah, all right. And then peacock, and then fox. Yeah. And everything I say is for a freaking reason. Oh my God. Inner beauty, compassion, assimilator of anything. The beauty of the peacock is unrivaled. It's easy to think that it comes from the plumage, but the secret of the peacock is that the beauty resides within and extends outward indefinitely. This adept creature can assimilate or digest all experiences in life, so it does not harbor resentment, conflict, or past pain within its psyche. The peacock type is extremely rare. Not many of us have reached this advanced level of acceptance of self and others. So that's what you're striving towards. That's that gnosis that they're trying to get you to see, right? That inner light of yours, your inner beauty, and how you are compassionate and accepting of other people. And so what you're searching for here is your own imbalances, your truth, what it is that you need to know about yourself, your unconscious drivers and everything, right? Like, and I mean, that's like the essence of the moon card, literally. Like, and how that just needs to shift. What within you, within how you show up in interpersonal relationships, with how you manage your own like mental health, your own psyche, like what within you needs to shift in order for you to get out of your own way and become more aligned, more divinely guided, right? Like on the path of what the divine wants for you, and how you can see, and I think how you can get to that and through that, right? Like where that through line is, right? That thread, your path, what's already within you, nothing that you need to pull out, nothing that you need to force. And like literally the village speaks to those around you who, like, yes, we all need community, but the village also speaks to those around you, like how you're being influenced by those around you, and how it can be helping you or hindering you, and how you might be ready to leave the village. And it's not a permanent thing, right? The goal is always to return back to the village, because we don't ever want to turn away from community. And I think you kind of know that. But it's, you know, it might just be time for now. Might just be time for now. And again, I wanted to get into that connected energy, but this has been like 40-45 minutes long. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. It might even be 2 o'clock in the morning at this point. So I'll probably tap into that tonight for tomorrow's video. No, I'll likely, this will go up probably around 4 a.m. which obviously at this point, like, you'll be watching it, right? But tapping into the connected energy, like, I truly will connect right back into this specific energy, and the counterpart side of it. I just don't feel like doing a 2-hour long reading again. I love you all so much. Have a wonderful night. Bye.